Bob Andelman, and you're listening to and watching the Mr. Media radio interview with novelist Cynthia Kraack, author of Ashwood. Cynthia, as we start to wrap up, I thought we could use this final segment to talk a little bit about your craft, starting with where do you write and when do you write?
Well, you can see a little bit behind me of where I write. I do have a really nice office in our home, which we put in about 2 years ago. Before that, I had a really nice office that's now a closet, if that makes any sense. Um, but I also will go off and write at the proverbial coffee shop. I tend to write more on a laptop. I recently got myself an iPad, so I have a little bit of flexibility to be able to work wherever I wish without carrying a laptop around. Um, and my natural writing kind of, I guess, rhythm is to write in long stretches, meaning I can go for days of like writing off and on, probably as early as 7 in the morning and finishing up around midnight with breaks in between.
Mm.
But to try to discipline myself, because I had to produce Ashwood in about 12 months for my publisher, um, I actually began more of like treating it like a job of writing, from like 8 to 1, and maybe doing kind of revision stuff a little bit in the later afternoon.
Hmm.
Um, but that gives you a small sense, I guess, of I used to write only if I had 4 hours and the stars were right and I had good music. And when you start having things like publishers asking for your work to be done, you instead say, okay, I've got a half an hour, I can really work on this paragraph, and you take advantage of all the time you have.
I remember years ago I covered rock music for the newspapers, and I remember
Ooh,
one musician said, you have your whole lifetime to write your first album, and then if it's a success, they want another one in 12 months. He says it's
right.
not quite as
But,
easy, and you don't
oh,
necessarily have the discipline in place to pull that off.
right. Yeah. It's, people who I frequently get questioned from folks who are like a lot of school teachers who get to retire in their 50s and think that they'll start their first novel and that'll be just great. And, I'm not discouraging, but I do think it's something that is better to start earlier in your life to get to the discipline point. And then all the marketing piece is something that folks tend to not really see as much or think about if they're not in the profession.
Now, I understand Ashwood was intended as the first book in a trilogy. Is that still the plan?
Right. That's true. The second book is written and is in the process of revision right now, and will probably come out either late this year or else in March of 2012.
Okay. Now, it's just the two of us, so I wonder if you could just kind of lean forward quietly into the
Okay.
camera and just tell me what
Oh,
happens. Um, I won't tell anybody.
and well, we're out like 8 years, and the economy is healthier, and there are those kind of it kind of moves to a bit of a struggle about as the economy grows, uh, which industries more will kind of get more of the
Mm.
pie. Is that enough? But and Anne and
Yes,
David
that's what I want to know.
are have a nice family life going. They have children, and his parents have come to live with them, which creates a whole kind of uh, broader sense of family as well. So their life is very comfortable, and they really have a good relationship.
And then, so
So,
if book two will be out later this year, book three is that a year
yep.
off from that?
Yes, hopefully. And that's the one that's about half written, which takes a big jump because at least at this point, it's actually more the story of the children who are young
Got it.
adults. And,
Well, I'll look
yeah.
forward to reading the second book. I won't have to be sucked into it. I'll be
Good.
eager to see book
Huh.
two. And I want to let everybody know you can order novelist Cynthia Kraack's new book, Ashwood, and hopefully the next book in the series soon at great bookstores everywhere, or order it right now at a great price at mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. And of course, you can check out Cynthia's website. It's cynthiakraack.com, and that's Kraack spelled Kraac. And if you're watching this on video, we will put it right here across the bottom, so you'll be able to see it and you won't have to worry about spelling it. Cynthia, it was a wonderful book. I so enjoyed talking to you, and thank you so much for being on Mr. Media today.
Okay, well, thank
You
you.
too.
Have a good day.
Hey, did you know that you can listen to the latest Mr. Media on your phone with the Stitcher app? Stitcher is smart radio for your smartphone. Mr. Media is on demand and on the go with Stitcher. Download Stitcher for your phone today. Get the free download at Stitcher.com. That's STITCHER.com.